welcome to 2.5 Brains, a Pavement Road production, talking all about the latest episode of Survivor Season 39, Episode 6. You can find me on Twitter at YoGrabAGabba. You can email the show, pavementroadproduction@gmail.com. Subscribe so you get all the updates. Don't miss anything. Also, you can find the Facebook page, facebook.com/Pavement Road Productions. A little later than normal, but it's been normal, but a little later than we want to be. Because Wednesday night was the Game 7 World Series, then with Halloween. So we're bringing it out here Friday night on the first day of November. So we're talking all about it here. We're going to dive in and get started with our show. And as I go ahead and bring in my co-host, Jessica. Jessica, welcome to the show.
Hello.
I'll slide over for you, Jessica.
Oh, thank you.
And Bailey's going to join us too.
Nope. I can never get this to go there.
Bailey's going to join us too, right, Bailey?
Hi, babe. Yeah.
So, Jessica, how do you find you on Twitter?
JessT820.
Alright. So, what do you think about this episode?
Well, I didn't expect Who Lost to lose.
True.
I'm happy the way that it went.
True.
I was happy that my winner pick is in another week, even though I don't think she's going to do too fantastic anymore. It was a good episode. I liked it. There's choices I probably would have made differently if I was in there, but it was good.
Certainly.
Mm-hmm.
And, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but I think your winner pick's in a fine spot, because who's coming after her now?
For now. But yes.
She's
stay
not
for a while.
She's not threat to anybody, so.
Yeah, that doesn't necessarily mean that she could win it all still. But
I don't think she's going to win, but she's not going over for a while.
Oh, yeah, it's fine. It doesn't matter when she goes out, she's not winning, so it doesn't matter.
So, placement order means nothing, because you could go out 6th or 9th or 15th and be better than the person who finished 3rd or 2nd. So. Anyways, let's go ahead and dive here in this episode. We're talking all about the latest episode 6. The second episode after the swap, and probably one more episode before merge. So let's talk about this episode here, post-swap. We finally get to see the Purple Tribe go back to Tribal Council, and they're 4-4 going into it, and some crazy shenanigans went down. Let's talk all about it. Start with the 3 moments that mattered. Start with moment number 1. Jessica, what's moment number 1 that mattered?
Idol Incorporated.
Idol Incorporated, yeah. So
finally went back to the Island of the Idols. Got to see Sandy and Rob again.
Yeah, and we got to incorporate the Island of the Idols into the show in a bit of a unique way. They had been, hey, pick the name out of the hat, or hey, send somebody, or hey, whatever. This time it was, who's going to sit out? Okay, this person's sitting out. So guess what? You're going to Island of the Idols. Mm-hmm. They selected her to sit out, and selected Elaine to sit out. And she went to Island of the Idols. We had to see Rob building a big-ass shelter. Like a 3-story freaking house, basically.
Right.
And, make him look like he was cool or something. And, whatever.
I still wonder about if they get food or stuff on the island.
Oh,
I'm sure they get food. They just have to build their own shelter.
I'm sure...
Got to show their skills.
I'm sure if they complained enough, they would get a freaking house built for them.
They got to show their skills. That's the whole point of them doing there.
Sure. Fine. So the Island of the Idols was interesting. What did they have to do today this week on Island of the Idols? What did Elaine have to do?
She had to try and get a advantage that was hidden on the Bailey. You're ruining my concentration. She had to get an advantage that was hidden under a table in the Immunity Challenge. Thank you. I can't think of the friggin' name. Immunity Challenge. Yes. And that was interesting.
Yeah, so...
But I don't know what point you want to talk about it. No. She just agreed to it too fast.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. So they had a thing where Rob's like, alright, we're going to teach you a lesson right now. And he pulled the thing on the right side pouring out. Mm-hmm. He goes, you have to decide if you want to do take a chance in the game. Mm-hmm. And she's like, I'll do it! It's like when Kramer was offered to be free coffee for life, to be a spokesman for the coffee company where he sold his coffee. And he burned himself with hot coffee. Mm-hmm. And they said, we're going to offer him all this money. If he doesn't take that, we're going to offer him even more money. Mm-hmm. And then they said, all right, you can get free coffee for life. He goes, I'll take it! before they even offered him any money.
Right.
And it was just, it's kind of how Elaine was in this case. It's
don't jump the gun.
Right. It's hard not to.
However, he's so excited when they get there, they see who it is, and they want to impress them, and, they're the legends.
And we know that if they hold out, they'll get a better deal. Right. They don't know that, so they're jumping at it.
And since people have gone out there, it was only one that held out and got a little bit longer and didn't end up even using the idol anyways.
Right.
So
it didn't really matter. But yeah, so it's interesting. And so they offered her, a chance for getting advantage of the game, which is a vote blocker. If she loses her vote.
Right.
And it was in the challenge. It's kind of similar to the Wentworth and Troy's. I remember Troy's or Jeremy. Colin in his season had very similar finding an advantage or an idol at the challenge. It's always really strange and interesting. And she found it and she put it in her pants and it fell.
Yeah, she was trying to tuck it in her pants and she was tucking it in her shirt and then pulled her shirt and then it flipped out. Thank God she realized that it fell. Yeah. Because I didn't think she did, but she knew that it, wasn't in there and looked around and nobody saw her at all. Everybody was so concentrated on the challenge that they didn't even see it.
Right. And Elizabeth ran a little cover for because Elizabeth knew what was going on.
Right.
So they talked about it. And she said, so how's Island of the Idols? She was, I got a chance for an advantage. And they were kind of work together and help each other out.
This was a good segue into what we're pretty much just started talking about already is the vote blocker. So, the next...
so moment that mattered number 2.
Vote blocker.
Yeah.
She got it. She hit it. Nobody found out. And they used it pretty well in the tribal council. Yeah,
so... I think Elaine jumped the gun a little bit. Result-oriented thinking it worked out for her, so I guess it was the right decision.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was. But she then, as soon as she did it, she understood one thing I will say Elaine did very well. Nothing, because Bailey doesn't agree. But one thing that Elaine did well, I would say, is she knew, as I knew when she went into it, right? When she went to the Island of the Idols, I'm like, okay, great, she's getting a vote blocker. Her vote's way more valuable than a vote blocker because she's going to be... Who cares if you block one vote? If it's 7 votes to 1, who cares?
Right. She had to get everybody on her side and agree with her, which didn't seem like was going to happen.
Right.
And not, they're unaware that Missy and Aaron are more than willing to work with whoever to get further.
Right. So that was what I was thinking, right? I was like, well, she could, she can block one person's vote, but if it's 6 to 1, who cares?
Right.
So.
But since it was out in the open that she could block somebody's vote, that obviously swayed it a lot more. Just the talk of tribal is definitely what swayed it.
And so I think what happened, she went ahead and told Misty and Aaron about it, and obviously Elizabeth already knew, and that kind of got them on the same page, got the wheels turned a little bit. Hey, how do we use this for our advantage as a group? Because that was the only chance that Elaine had. Elaine could have used it and not told anybody about it and kept it a secret.
Right.
It would have made any difference.
Right.
So, but the fact that she looped everybody into it, said, "Hey, look, guys, this is ours. I found this for us. What can we do to turn the numbers in our favor?" Mm-hmm. And that's what she did. That worked out well for her.
Yeah, even though the cuts or the edits made it seem like they weren't going to do it anyways. At least Aaron definitely didn't look like he was going to flip.
Yeah, Aaron and Misty
keep with his original tribe.
Right, looked like Aaron and Misty looked like they're about to ready to flip. They were kind of sit down with Lyro.
Jump ship.
But then as soon as Misty found out about the advantage, she was like, "Oh, okay, let's do this." And then it was kind of up to Aaron as the swing vote.
Right. Which leads us to our next moment that mattered.
Yeah.
Misaligned.
Yeah, so Aaron basically joined this new tribe, and the first person he started talking to was Tommy, building that relationship with Tommy. Hey, Tommy, we're working on this together. Well, let's do this. Blah blah. But he also had his own alliance from the original Lyro.
Well, because he knew, he's making pacts on either side, so whatever happens, he had a pack either way. He had people to vote with either way, but now who are you going to stick with? Now you've got the numbers. Now you have to stick with your original, or you could flip and get rid of somebody else. Right. He's a swing vote for a while.
Yeah,
unless he realizes his power.
Well, right, and that's the thing. Unless everybody else realizes his power too, right? Because Now if that side is bitter and Tommy's upset and Lauren and Dan, they're like, this guy screwed us over, screw him, and they find an idol, and now they're being taken out. Then they would throw their 3 votes on him, and he could get idled out of the game for all we know, right? So he was the one who put himself. We'll talk about it a little later. He got the blood on his hands though, for sure, and that I think is a problem for him. It's great to be in the middle of the swing vote.
Yeah.
It's great to be the person who can go either way. It's great for the person who rides in the middle. But as Aubrey Bracco once said, sometimes the person in the middle of the road gets run over. And it could certainly be.
Right.
We'll see a little bit later on. But he had the decision to choose between his alliances. And he chose, maybe wisely, maybe poorly, but he chose to stick with Lyra, which it seemed like he was very anti-sticking with Lyra. And then, they had the chance to play. I think if Misty was like, screw it, we're flipping out old Lyra, I think he does it too. But I think he doesn't want to be the only one who flips. Or only one who changes the flipper. Right. And I think that's kind of where it ended up. Mm-hmm. Any other thoughts on that?
You said it all, dear.
Cool. I usually do. Let's talk about then who did not survive this episode.
Jason, one of your picks.
Yes.
You're down another one.
No, I'm down to 4
still
left.
On top.
Yep.
Ooh.
So I have 4 left. B-Back has 4 left. Jessica has 5 left.
And
then the no tribe with no, the Island of the Idols, the Edge of Extinction, the Exile Island tribe, Redemption Island tribe has 1 person left. That's Janet.
Yeah.
That's what Shaka is.
Yeah.
So, what went wrong for Jason? What was his deal?
I mean, it's kind of hard to say with this because from the beginning, what went wrong was he went out to find an idol right away, and everybody saw him and was calling him out on it. That didn't even get mentioned for this, because they weren't a part of that tribe. Mm-hmm. I don't know, just the way he carries himself. I don't know. I really can't really say why he got targeted so bad because I don't feel like he was that strong of a player, but apparently he was strong enough for them to want to get him out.
Yeah, it's weird, because it's not like he was like overtly out in the open, like leading the charge.
I think that's probably why though. Nobody was close enough to him to want to keep him.
And I think you hit it right there. I think that's the answer. Bad luck, certainly. Bad luck. They had a chance for Lyra had a chance to, block his vote, and he couldn't even vote in the final in the tribal council where he got voted out. Right. So that doesn't help.
Right.
I don't know if has that ever happened where somebody couldn't vote. Oh, I guess Chris Noble.
Yeah, and then got knocked out. Yeah.
Chris Noble.
I mean, that could have also pointed out too. They took his vote, blocked his vote, and then just figured, okay, let's get rid of him.
Usually that's a misdirect. Usually you take the person's vote to throw them off. But in this case, I guess they knew nobody had an idol, so whatever.
Right.
Bad luck certainly played a part of it. I mean, obviously an advantage being played on against him. Taking his vote, he can't even vote. The one thing that you can control in Survivor is your vote, and he couldn't even do that. I think like you said, though, I think that was the answer. I think Tommy and Aaron were aligned, so if they want to go for Tommy,
they were definitely closer.
Right, if they want to go for Tommy, it's like, well, we're not going to go for Tommy because Aaron wants to keep Tommy around just in case. Then I have to go after Lauren because I think Lauren and the girls could theoretically make something happen.
Right.
And then you got Dan, who's kind of. I feel like he's kind of one of those people I feel like he kind of annoys people.
He's just an interesting person, yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like he's like...
Not as interesting as Nora, but an interesting person.
Well, nobody's interesting as Nora. But I think like Dan just kind of knows who's there. Mm-hmm. And he's... I feel like nobody's really like, worried about him.
Yeah.
So I think of the two... between him and Jason I think has more agency and more...
Right.
He's more of, I guess, maybe a strategic threat. I really don't know, though, because I feel like they would have been fine to get rid of him.
Yeah, but
2 weeks ago.
I mean, that's what I mean. Even the people on his own original tribe didn't really care for him either. So it kind of, I would say, is no love lost except for losing the majority.
Yeah, I think it was
half at least.
Right, for sure, and I think that's kind of where the problem went for him, for Jason. I feel like it wasn't like he really had to do anything major or anything ridiculous. He just, he got some bad luck, and then he didn't have really the bonds on that side. I kind of feel like he was kind of sort of beating the drum of, hey, let's stay strong.
Yeah.
Let's say
everybody was. They kept saying they're willing to go to rocks, and they're not.
Right.
Just trying to get somebody to flip.
Right. I feel like he was somebody that they could have got rid of whenever they wanted to. They could have made a move against him, and they decided not to.
Right.
Before, and now there was really nobody who was like really willing to stick their neck out for him.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have the cross tribal bonds
right.
that he was going to need, and he was hoping somebody else was going to join him, instead of him trying to reach out and I feel like he was trying to use Tommy's connection with Aaron or Lauren's connection with one of the girls to
keep
save him instead of trying to make his own bond and do that. So
right.
I think that's a big part of his problem, and I think that's why Jason lost, unfortunately. That's the dog's chew toy.
Of course, he picks the squeaky toy instead of the bone he could chew on, but that's fine. It's like having children.
Exactly. So, anything else about Jason?
No, I think that's pretty much why, and there's a reason and no reason at the same time. It just doesn't matter.
Survivor's one of those games. Sometimes good players get active earlier, sometimes bad players stay later. Jason, I think, was a little bit of both. I think I was surprised to see him go that early. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't have guessed going into it Jason would have been a pre-merger. But things happen, things break the way they do, and you got to have enough social bonds, enough strategic moves to last long enough in the game, even with the twists. And he just didn't have that in this case.
It's true.
So, what is next?
Bottom three.
So the players remaining, who's in the bottom three. Now, as a side note, before we get all the way into that, I do want to say, based on Jason losing here and getting knocked out, and why he didn't survive, I think if I'm a member of that purple tribe now, and the majority of the purple tribe, then out of the Lyro 4 in that purple tribe, I throw the next challenge. I get out Tommy or Dan or even Lauren, and then we go in the merge now with my 4. The 2 from the other tribe. Now that's 6, and then that's 6 and 7. Because you got to figure if the orange tribe loses next, if new Lyro loses, they're gonna vote out original Lyro, and then it's gonna be.
You would think.
So it'll be 5-1 on that tribe, and then 4-3 on the other.
Right, but there's nothing stopping them going to their original. Well, let's just get rid of Elaine because Aaron's definitely not, he's in her alliance, but he's not that aligned with her.
He's lying with Missy.
Huh?
He's lying with Missy.
Well, yeah, and
then
it's because he's threatened by Elaine because Elaine is very good at the social part. Right. So why would you keep her? So you never know. That could backfire too.
It's really good. So, I mean...
And for a team so strong... throwing it, you're going to have to pick something that at least the difficult part of it to throw it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going to keep blocking you.
No, that's exactly right.
Trying to hold it in.
No, you're good, and that's what I'm saying. I think it's, I've always been a proponent of never throw a challenge ever because too many things can go wrong. And that, often does happen where somebody throws a challenge and then they lose the momentum. And, like, for example, season 22. Russell's tribe threw a challenge to get rid of him, and they had the majority. They were like, "Hey, we have a 3-1 lead or 3-0 lead. They lost 3 people, we lost nobody. Let's throw a challenge to get rid of Russell. We have the numbers." And they did, and then they never won another challenge the rest of the way.
Yeah.
And got picked off one by one the rest of the way.
Right.
So it's definitely a risk. If you're Elizabeth or Misty, it's not as much of a risk as it is with Elaine.
Right.
Or whatever, or Aaron, for example. But
right.
If you think you can pull it off, it might be a good move. That way, you're kind of making number 7-6, and you have different ways to move. You get a vote steal at Island of the Idols, and now you flip the numbers to 7-6 on your side. Things are more fluid. But if you want to swap down 8 to 5, whatever, it's much tougher if you're trying to stay with your original tribe, and it's which who knows if they are or not, but right. I would say that's a way to go. If I was playing the game out there, I might think about maybe throwing that challenge.
Yeah.
Don't at me. Purists.
At you all day long.
Right. So top three, bottom three. Start with bottom three. Who's in the bottom three, Jessica?
Well, I think this comes as no surprise. Nora.
Nora. Yeah, why Nora?
She's just not that strong of a social player.
Right.
You know, she's trying to get Dean to come to her side and flip and, take over the game. And then Dean goes to talk to Jamal, and they're just like, that's not happening. She's out of her mind. So, I don't know. It's just not going to happen.
When the people you're trying to woo, not young Wu Wang, but not Ric Flair either. When the people you're trying to woo are over to your side, are talking to you with people you're trying to vote, talking about you with the person you're trying to vote out, how crazy you are, not a good spot.
No.
That being said, if she can just get through one more vote, I can see her being okay, because again, who's going to come after her? She's not much of a threat after the merge. She's a bigger threat than some people.
Right.
It's just she's trying to take control of the game. Mm-hmm. But her mistake right now is not having the social capital to build that to take over the game.
I mean, she's not a threat, but she also just annoys the heck out of people, so they just wouldn't want to deal with her anymore. That's her risk.
And like I said, and now she's trying to take over the game, which makes her a threat to certain people. She's a threat to Jamal now because even if it doesn't work out, she puts in that thing in somebody's ear and that catches on. Who knows? Mm-hmm. Once your name's out there, it's hard to get it out from being there.
Right. I mean, once it's one for all or all for one or one for all, or I don't know what I'm trying to say. When everybody's trying to fight for their own game, I'd say the girls just align together. And
they might, and that would be a smart move, I think, on their part. Mm-hmm. Most women who win the game after being part of a women's alliance. But like I said, I think Nora became a threat by throwing Jamal's name out there.
Right.
Doesn't mean she's gonna, be targeted next.
Yeah.
But the problem is she tried to bring Dean in. Dean was not the person bringing on that. I mean.
Yeah.
if anything, and she talked to Krishna about it, but I think that's a better route for her to go. Is hey, bring the women together and go after Jamal in that case. But you can't. Dean and Jamal are joking about how crazy she is after she tried to bring Dean in and take out Jamal.
Right.
It's just not a good look, and she's not in. She just doesn't have the social capital to be able to make those moves.
She does not. She doesn't have that many people that want to work with her as it is. So just kind of sit down and shut up and try and figure it out.
I'm impressed that she's trying to play the game though. Coming into it,
she is.
She's not doing a very good job.
In her own insane way, she's trying.
She's not doing a great job of it, but at least she's out there and trying. A lot of players, like for example, Karishma.
She's not doing a great job. I thought she was doing a wonderful job. She was going to be the caller, and then she wasn't the caller. So
yeah. Well, the difference I feel like is Karishma's trying to just survive and not wait and prolong her being voted out.
She's just waiting to be picked off, and I can't stand that anymore. Right. Like I hate that.
Right. She might go further than somebody with no chance to win. Make a move, have some fight, go down swinging. Which at least is what Nora's doing. She's doing not a great job of it, but at least she's putting in that effort. Where Krishna's just like, whatever.
I know. I think this is just more of an experience for her at this point than anything.
She gains something out of it, talking, culturally
talking
and all
about
that.
her life. Yeah.
So let's move on then from Nora to the next person in the bottom three, which is whom?
Mr. Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron.
Like you said earlier, he's got blood on his hands, and they're gonna be gunning for him. To get rid of him. He's still gonna be the swing vote though.
He is. I think. Yeah. I think that major damage control will do it. If that other side is pissed, they could go after him and get rid of him, or at least target him next. Or you get to this, if they get to a swap and they're up in the numbers, which they're gonna be just depending on how much. They get to a swap, they're up in the numbers and say, hey, that's Aaron guy's good in challenges, and you can't trust him. You already screwed us over once. He could be, the one who goes out next, even, or whatever.
Right. Well, it's tough for him too, because how can you explain away that you flipped and got rid of Jason? Like, how can you say, well, my allegiance is still to you, but I joined my old tribe?
I mean, his only pitch is to a time and say, it wasn't you, I wouldn't let you.
Yeah.
Your name came up and I said, no, it can't be Tommy. And that's the only pitch he has.
I still don't think that would even buy anybody over though, because if someone said that to me, I'd be like, yeah, sure, doesn't matter. But yeah.
But and so it's really gonna depend on if Lately, there's been a lot of players who haven't been all that emotional lately. There's been a lot of heady strategic players. If Tommy's smart, he's like, well, all right, whatever you say, and he keeps it. He keeps that. And then in confessional, he's like, screw that guy. I'm done with him. In confessional.
Well, exactly. That's what I mean in confessional.
Right.
I don't mean to him. Nobody's been, like you said, nobody's been attacking anybody else because of what they did, except for a couple people.
Yeah, and here and there.
But, I mean, Aaron did it though. He did it to his tribe outright when they, was it the first vote?
Yeah,
like early on.
Yeah, early on.
He's just like, you guys left me. Yeah, it was the very first vote. It was Ronnie.
Yeah.
And he was so mad. He's like, I can't trust any of you. Don't do that.
You don't do that. And so I think if Tommy's smart, he'll be like, okay, I understand. I appreciate you keeping me, keep me in the game.
Well, yeah, he's gonna do that, and then he's gonna go tell the camera, I can't trust him as far as I can throw him.
Right, and then the question is, because that person who screwed you over may be useful in the future. You gotta keep that person still close to you regardless. Even if you don't want to trust them going forward, you can't burn that bridge. You've got to have that option.
Keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Certainly an option. Yes. Okay. Cool. I'm your enemy. Thank you. Anything else about Aaron?
No, I think that's it.
I think it pretty much covers him. I said he could be in a really bad spot right now. He flipped and he's the one who got the blood on his hands. Jason didn't say he said don't trust Elaine. He said don't trust Aaron.
Right.
And that's that he's the one who he had the option to go either way, and then he went a way that he pissed off their people. Nobody. It's one of those things when you're not the target. When you're the target and you make a move, people aren't mad at you because you're going to go and who's going to go.
Right.
So they're not going to be mad at Lane for saving herself.
Right.
They're mad at Aaron for lying to them, and that's he put himself in a rough spot. Again, technically he's still in numbers, and honestly, he could, like you said, still end up being a swing vote if the two sides are still want to kill each other, and not go after him. They couldn't. They could come together and say screw this guy, get through him. That's what happened in Survivor Amazon. It was the men versus the women, and then there was Christy who was the swing vote, and Christy's in the middle of two alliances, and she's like, I don't know, should I go with you? Should I go with you? I don't know. I'm trying to tell which way to go. And the two sides that they were fighting and she was in the middle of said, let's make her leave. Let's just get rid of her. And
they decided to, but I mean, his old alliance, he didn't do anything to make them angry at him yet.
Right. So
unless they go and approach Elaine later in next episode and be like, well, we were gonna vote you out, and Aaron was all on board for it, so we're not sure why he flipped.
So there's a lot of things that could go the way. I think his 4 will be fine, and I think at the end of the day, both sides will still be competing for his vote if they go to another tribal council.
Right.
So I think he still is gonna be okay. I think his vote worked out fine for him today, but I think he put a bigger target on his back come the merge. Because they're gonna be like, he's a threat for challenges. He's good at these challenges. He's a physical threat, and now we can't trust him because he's already flipped. Right. And regardless, he didn't flip. He stayed with the same alliance, but he lied to them and scorned them. Right. Finally, bottom 3, number 3, who is
Mr. Tommy.
Tommy, yeah.
Tommy Pickles.
Yes, exactly. Why Tommy?
I mean, like we talked about when we made this whole, our plan for this episode didn't have a lot of things that were done wrong. So it was kind of hard to find somebody to put down here. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But, I mean, Tommy could go next. Tommy's strong on the team. He's going to be really offended about what happened. He's going to be upset. Could be, yeah. So, I mean, he's going to have to watch out for himself. Right. Also.
There's not a lot of fault to put on anybody here. Mm-hmm. Nobody really did anything bad. No. The thing with Tommy is, I said, if I'm one of those Lyros now, and we throw a challenge, or we happen to lose a challenge, or whatever, and we're back to tribal council, and we have our pick of those 3 to vote out. Mm-hmm. Not going for Dan. Lauren, unless I want to try and make sure there's no girls' alliance, I'm not going to go for Lauren, because she's not the threat. The biggest threat left on old Vokai, on current Vokai, the original Vokai member who's currently on Vokai.
Jamal.
Of those three.
Oh, who's currently on there?
Yeah, of those three who are still there in that group,
Yeah.
biggest threat's Tommy. No doubt about it.
Right.
So he would be the one to go after. I can see him being the one that they target. Again, it's been a pretty unpredictable season again, so it's hard to, you can't really see a linear path to the end. And there's been a lot of spikes, ups and downs. But if you ask me right now, pick somebody from the tribe who just lost. If they lose again, who's gone? The easiest decision right now would be Tommy. Physical threat before the merge. It does break up Aaron and Tommy, and so who knows? Maybe they want to do that, or maybe Tommy, Aaron wants to save Tommy. I don't know. But right now, if you ask me who they take out right now,
who they should, you mean? Because this all depends on the mindset of everybody still. Are you trying to keep a strong team, or are you trying to get rid of people that going down the line you're not going to get past? You're not going to be who's going to be strong. He's going to be good in individual challenges.
Right.
Like
he is.
You get rid of somebody that is going to have a better time winning or better chance winning than you.
Take out a threat. If they're thinking about taking out threats, of those three people who are on that tribe in the minority right now, Tommy's the one to take out. He reminds me a lot of Brendan Shapiro from Ghost Island. The gym teacher.
Yeah.
And I feel like he
Brendan.
Brendan. Yep. And I feel like he could be also a pre-merge person by that same token.
Is it because he's a teacher and the other guy was a gym teacher?
They both look similar in a way, but also I feel like Brendan was voted out because he was a threat.
Yeah. And he was voted out early.
He voted out early because of a swap, and he was a threat. I feel like that's what Tommy is right now too. I feel like Tommy's that same
right.
Same end game right now is getting clipped right before the merge because he's a threat and he's down the numbers, and that's I think that's a smart move. I think that's the move that would make the most sense. I don't know if it's gonna happen. I mean, anything can happen, but if you ask me right now, who from that tribe would be the next to go if they go to tribal council? My money would be on Tommy.
Yeah.
Not that they've done anything wrong, but trust the wrong guy, I guess maybe.
Yeah. True.
Anything else?
No, I was gonna say before we move on to top 3, what we've pretty much talked about tonight. I feel like the biggest turning point of the whole episode that kind of controlled the outcome of this is who, what was it, Vokai, Purple, decided to leave out for the chickens.
Oh, sure.
We can talk about it, but it's like,
right.
They picked Elaine, but they could have picked anybody, and they picked their best people to compete for the food challenge instead of maybe keeping her on and leaving out someone they think is stronger for immunity. Because what's more important? You're hungry, but you want immunity, so you don't have to go to tribal and vote anybody out. So the whole turning point, what controlled this game, was that she went. If someone that was from the old Vokai went, the whole outcome would have been completely
Everything
different.
would have been different. I mean, so much would have been different. Right? And it's like, I don't know if it's Stephen Fishback or somebody said, why do you even try to win reward challenges?
Well, food doesn't mean anything.
I mean, it's easy to say here on your couch, but out there you're starving.
Know.
But I get it.
But when you're trying to win the game, you got to think of it in the long run.
Absolutely. If let's say Elizabeth, or say they said let's not set out Elaine. Elaine goes and plays in the challenge. They win, they lose, whatever. They sit out Aaron. They sit out Misty, whoever. Right. Now even if they sit out, I don't know, Lauren.
I would say they could have reversed it and sat out Lauren for this one, and then put Elizabeth in for the next one.
So Lauren now is sitting out, and she goes back to Island of the Idols for a second time. Isn't it a second time? Right?
No, Lauren never went.
No, Lauren, yeah, okay. Either way, so Lauren goes to Island of the Idols, and now Elizabeth is not going to go up to her necessarily and say, "So what happened to Island of the Idols?"
Well, yeah, Elizabeth isn't going to talk to her. That was the only good thing that someone else had gone that they could talk about.
And they could plan how to get the things together, right?
Right.
And Elizabeth had kind of run the cover for it.
Right. Because they didn't even show Elaine explaining it at all to anybody. So whether or not people asked about it, they didn't really make a big deal about her talking about the island and what happened there. Nobody really asked like how she got it.
I mean, not that we know. Right?
Not that they showed, right?
That's it. And that worked out perfectly for Elizabeth because her ally went. If her ally doesn't go, it makes things much more difficult. So you can never predict how that's going to turn out. Right. She did pull the name off the next person. The next person who goes could be the person who got out there. For all we know.
No, it's from the other tribe. Wouldn't be Jason.
That wouldn't be Jason.
Elaine, yeah. It's for the other tribe.
Okay. Yep. So either way, she pulled the name the next time out, but you never really know. And yes, I think the best thing you could do is do what you can in the reward challenge. Mm-hmm. Not saying go has to be or don't try to win it,
but you don't have to have all your strongest people in that part.
Right. Yeah, I would. If the same person, whoever sits down the first one has to beat the second one. Mm-hmm. Have your best person, have your best force going for that one. It's like
always go for immunity over anything else.
Right. You practice, you play, and you work hard, and try to do your best in the reward challenges. Mm-hmm. But immunity is all that matters.
Right.
If you lose 100% of the reward challenges and win 100% of the immunity challenges, you're going to be back in good shape.
Yep. But I just wanted to interject that a little bit.
Completely. Awesome. Who is in the top 3 this week? Number 3.
Top 3. A returning top 3 is Missy.
Missy, yeah. So this is this one again. It was a little difficult because there was like some clear. There wasn't really anything that was horribly done wrong or horribly done right. Even it was just kind of like
it just flowed.
Who's kind of in the top? Who's kind of in the bottom? Missy's been playing a strong game. She has Aaron pretty tight. I feel like, and
she made the right choice by not flipping on her old tribe and going with the numbers the first time.
And I feel like if Aaron was like, "Nope, I'm not doing this," and Aaron put his foot down and said, I'm not doing this," then she would have gone with it.
Yeah, she would have. But then what's that showing for her in her game?
Right.
You're following everybody, where at this point you need to, make your moves.
And so right now she kind of was able to have her cake and eat it too by keeping her girls' alliance. She's able to keep her girls' alliance intact.
Yes.
And Aaron there as well. Instead of having to decide which one to go out against, it's smart to have multiple outs, right?
Yeah.
Why did Christian lose this season? Because all his allies were gone,
right?
And his number came up, and there was nobody to save him, right? And to help him get out of it, he had no allies left. So for Misty right now, she still has her girls' alliance, and she still has Aaron. So whichever way ends up coming out at the end or at the merge or whatever, she has enough other people to kind of rely on to keep herself safe.
Yeah.
So she's playing a solid game so far. Definitely, I said. Give me a top 5 of who's win this season. She's certainly it.
Yeah.
Who is number 2 this week?
Number 2, one of my girls, Elizabeth.
Elizabeth, yeah. Why Elizabeth?
I mean, she went along with it. Her and Elaine talked, and she's in with the right group. She's a very strong player. She's very good social. She hasn't really made many mistakes on this game. Her faults are minimal. Mm-hmm. So I think she's going to do pretty well.
I agree. And I think with the things right now, if you're looking at it right now, Missy found out about it and went along with it and made, I would say, probably the right choice. Elizabeth knew a little bit more. Elizabeth had a little bit more knowledge.
She knows, how it happened, what she got, and whatever. But
and help her get it.
My only concern is, everybody's always, our old team's strong. So they're Lyro strong. That could bite you in the ass at some point.
Certainly.
It's like, I understand now. They were 4-4. They were tied. So they had to stay further, strong. But I hope she's willing to maybe open a little bit with her alliances after, they're not in their... It's... What do you call it? Is it merge again? It's not merge, but they're not in their teams.
Well, they're not in their original teams, or they're
just merged as individuals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it comes to individual game. And that's important, too, because... I think Missy's a good ally for her, and about that, and someone who kind of has connections to the other side, she needs to kind of have those connections. She lost Tom. Tom was that for her.
Yeah.
And so I think that's one thing that is a good point. She could get squeezed out eventually because of that.
If she's not willing to work with other people.
Where I think she will be, though.
I think once it's at that point, she will be, yeah. I just have a little concern with that.
Certainly, and that's a good point, because she, has a lot of good allies, she's kind of in the right...
And she's a very, very strong player. I'm surprised it really hasn't been mentioned much of how strong of a player she is.
Yeah, for sure. She's doing a great job. And again, the only concern is, maybe, the wrong numbers, and she loses enough allies where she can't get out of the situation.
Right.
But the reason I have her higher here, and the reason that we talk about putting her second instead of third, is because Missy knew this much and went with it. Right. Elizabeth knew this much more, and helped plan it, helped use make the strategic move. It's more Elizabeth's move than it is Missy's move. It's neither one of their moves, but it's more Elizabeth's move than Missy's move. Sure. She knew about it. She helped plan it. She helped set it up.
Help talk it to them about it, and
help pitch it to them exactly.
Make it. It's our vote blocker. It helps us all. Yeah.
Right, and that's why I feel like Elizabeth is a little bit higher on this week on the rankings, just for that reason. Both did a good job. Both are very similar. Both have played a good game. Both I think could easily see them winning. Mm-hmm. But I think Elizabeth had just a little bit more stake in this one. Yeah, cake enough stake.
Who's the Brazil
top player of the week?
I want to go Texas Day Brazil. Okay.
Top player of the week. This segment of the episode is sponsored by Texas Day Brazil. Send us your money.
Eat the meats.
Send us your money.
Yes.
Who's the top performer of the week this week, Jessica?
Miss Elaine.
Elaine Stott, yeah. So Elaine is the number one performer of the week. And it's obvious. I mean, she was on the bottom.
About it the entire time.
Right.
The entire episode.
She was the one who was beginning to be targeted. Mm-hmm. If they lose, she's gone. She's social threat. All those things. She's the one who's beating the drums. Stay, Lyra strong. Don't let vote Cayenne. All those things, right? And if Aaron or Missy flip,
yes, she would have been out.
Elaine's done.
Right.
She went from being that person who's honestly 8th out of 8 on the tribe. Mm-hmm. Right? The number one person to go. Number one.
And she is still up.
And not only that, though,
yes,
she is maybe the kingpin now. Well, I mean, if not in complete control, she made that vote happen. Like.
Yes. I mean, she was able to go through with her bets. I don't know what you want to call it. Her assignment from Rob and Sandra.
Right. And if you look at the one who did she want out originally? She wanted Jason out.
She did.
And he's the one who went out. So
yeah.
It doesn't. I mean, so yes, she had. That is more.
No.
Go ahead.
As just things fell into place for her
absolutely.
To do it. Because, like we said before, this whole episode was dependent on who got sent to the island and if they followed through on the challenge.
And if Aaron and Missy flipped. Or they're talking about doing the last couple episodes.
Right.
We got flip.
They're lucky that they even agreed to flip and do this.
Because Elaine
not flip and do this.
Because Elaine could have stole a person's vote and still gone out, unanimously.
Well, not
close enough.
Yeah.
So if you look at it, and so there's an Elaine that was number one. Mm-hmm. Missy knew about it, went with the vote. Elizabeth knew about it, helped create it, but at the end it's Elizabeth. At the end of the day, it's Elaine's vote. It's Elaine's move.
Elaine, and she was the deciding person on whose vote she stole, also.
Right. So, whose vote she blocked, all that, right?
Yeah,
so,
right.
And that is at the end of the day, I think why Elaine is the player of the week this week is just because it was ultimately her move. Mm-hmm. It's ultimately she's the one who's going to get the credit for it. Mm-hmm. Unlike Erin, she's not going to get a whole lot of blood on her hands because she was the one who was going home anyways.
Right.
So it's like she took a shot in the dark and a desperate move to save herself.
Right.
It's not like she did. It's not like she did that to save somebody else. If she didn't do that, she was gone. So she had to do it. Made it work out.
Still not going to stop people from wanting to get rid of her in the future, but yeah.
No, but if you said the player,
you can understand why.
Right. The player this week, the one who had the best week, is Elaine because she went from being on the bottom of the tribe to the person who called the shot, took the shot, hit the shot this week. And that's why Elaine's the one.
Hit me with your best shot.
I think Jessica's getting tired, so I think it's time
you said shot
to
a lot.
go to bed.
Why don't you hit me with your best shot?
I need a shot right now. I need some whiskey.
Shot?
No, whiskey.
I think we have whiskey.
Sweet.
Yeah. A vodka?
I need, Jessica needs a nap, and I need a shot.
Hit me with your best shot.
Jessica should do her own.
Fire away.
She should do her own show where she sings. I think.
Okay.
I've been talking about that. No. But anyways, let's go ahead and wrap up here. How can people tweet you and tell you how much they love your singing?
Just T820.
Great. Tweet me at YoGrabbaGabba. Subscribe so you get all the updates. PaperProductions@gmail.com is where you can email the show to give us your feedback. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you like and don't like. Want her to sing more? Want me to speak less? All those things. Want to hear more from Bailey? Bailey?
Come on.
Bailey?
Come here.
Bueller?
Oh.
Bueller?
Say hi. Look. Oh, you just burped. You gross.
Gross. Facebook page, facebook.com/PaperProductions. Bailey's like, let me go, you fool. Subscribe to get all the updates. Email show paperproductions@gmail.com, facebook.com/paperproductions. Tweet us, YoGrabbaGabba, just T820, and send Bailey your love too, because Bailey loves you. Anything else, Jessica?
No, I was gonna sing again, but I won't.
Okay. Anything else, Bailey?
No, that's okay.
On that bizarre note, I've got nothing else for you. We've got nothing else for you. Because the tribe has spoken.